Today we're arriving into port early, 6 a.m. And to top it off, it's raining and cold. The temperature, it's in the mid-30s. But we have a rainbow, so that's our bright spot to start the morning. Not knowing what to do here, we booked an excursion through this ship. And it was a good thing, because if we had put something on our own that involved water, it probably would have been canceled. Most of the water excursions were canceled today. We decided to get off early and walk around town before our excursion started. That way we could pick up a few souvenirs, little trinkets, and see what was close to the water. And if this guy could talk, he would definitely be saying, "That's my boat." And when it's a cold, wet, rainy day, you always have to remember, it could be worse. You could be working. And since we had some time to kill before our tour started, here's a tour of a supermarket. Let's kind of look at the prices of it. Like a cup of noodles like we had back home. Except it's almost 15,000 pesos. To give you an example, $1 equals about 890 pesos. So, what you would usually find. A lot of these snacks I've never heard of, but some of them, yep, we've heard before. Something I saw over here that I got. Flavored water. You can get grape flavored water. And it's pretty good. The other flavors I never have tried, but grape was good. Now we'll go up to something that we would normally see at home. It's like almost like a little roll of paper towels. 2,400 pesos. And of course everybody has to have toilet paper. So, generic brand toilet paper. And everybody's probably seen this. Fanta, Sprite, Coke, Gatorade, energy drinks. Other store we saw Red Bull. And you have your snacks. There's a refrigerated section. Not a big selection there. Chips. The labels look kind of familiar, but the brand is different. That almost looks like Chips Ahoy, but it's not. Bless you. All this side you recognize. Kit Kat, Twix, M&M. Bless you. Looks like a knockoff Kit Kat, an MCAT. So that's the typical Chilean convenience store. And in a sign of things to come, the rain stopped and a rainbow appeared. So we started shopping for souvenirs and see our first penguins, although wooden. And Cheryl's face says it all about this guy, some mythical creature. And in the city center is a statue of Hernando Magellan, or Ferdinand Magellan. This is the explorer from whom the Straits of Magellan are named after. And Mr. Magellan, he looks majestic looking off in the distance with all of his clothes on. But the winds are blowing, they don't have any clothes on. Of course, I don't know what a mermaid would wear. And as you can see, people are kissing the toes of the statue. That's supposed to say that you're going to have good luck. But seeing 100 people kiss the toes of a statue doesn't sound like good luck to me. Even though we had to go up there, we just touched the toes. No kissy kissy. As we leave the city square, the rain is back. But lucky for us, the next stop is right across the street, the Natural History Museum. Here we can see the animals of the area. I have to run and catch up with the group because I've wandered off doing my own little tour apparently, and everybody's left me. But I know that they're right across the street at the History Museum, so I'm heading that way. And as we get closer, we see another kind of penguin. This one, a king penguin. And inside, a Magellan penguin, named after the guy we just rubbed toes with. They have all the species laid out. Hopefully, we can see all of them later. Next, we're off to see some replica ships. First, the one Ferdinand Magellan sailed on. This is a scale model of what he sailed through the Straits of Magellan with. And it's a far cry from what we arrived on. But it's interesting to see how the ship was laid out and how compact it was. Some of the floors are just about 3 feet tall, so if you hunch over, you can squeeze through them. And the steps, they're straight up and down. So overall, it was kind of hard to walk around, but it gives you an idea of what the early explorers were like. The next ship is HMS Beagle. This is the ship that Charles Darwin sailed through the straits in. So we have to head over there and see what that ship's like. But it's pretty much just like the one that Magellan used. But first, another look out at the Straits of Magellan. And I have to think, if I were sailing around the world on this rickety ship, I don't think I would like the water as much as I do now. This ship is small and compact. I don't think I would like going very far in it. It's bad enough with the big boat that we're on, and we have all-you-can-eat buffets and beer and entertainers and all the modern conveniences. This, not so much. The ships that we're walking around looking at aren't the actual ships. They're simply replicas or small museum, just to give you an idea of what the original ships would be like. And just by walking around, they had a good bit of room, though some of the spaces are very cramped. Whenever we're walking on one of the ships, between the floors is only maybe 2 or 3 feet. But this area is pretty big. It's plenty of room to store stuff. And just think of how much stuff that they would have to bring. They would have to bring everything to fix their sails, carpentry tools, food, any kind of medicine. There's a whole list of things that they would have to bring along with them just for a small basic trip. A whole lot easier today. We could pull over to Walmart, but here they had to bring Walmart with them. And of course, any tour of a replica ship wouldn't be complete without a tour of the facilities. Yet, this is where they went in to do their thinking. And after one more final look at the Straits of Magellan, it's off to a scenic overlook of the city. Here we could look out and see the city on both sides. And what I found interesting was all the flowers. Never seen flowers like these before. They were something unique and pretty colorful, so I had to take as many pictures as I could of the different ones. And where we stopped at was just a small roadside pull-off. Nothing fancy about it. The one thing I did find interesting was this compass. If you notice, instead of having W for west, it has O, which means to fall or set for the setting sun. So you know that that's west. And before going back to the ship, we have to try the local beer, which comes in huge cans. So there was a couple of them there, and not knowing if we're going back, we had to drink them both. Which leads to this. The rocking that you see is not from me drinking the 2 beers. It's because the seas have picked up on the tender boat on the way back to the ship. And that's the only way to get to or from shore was the tender boats. And they picked up considerably. If we were going, they probably would have canceled this port due to the high seas and all the rocking. High likelihood of somebody getting injured on big waves like this. So we're on the ride back from Punta Arenas. What do you think about Punta Arenas? Rain.
It's cold.
And rainy, a little bit of hail, rocky boat ride back. Yeah, they said it was hail. Pretty good. Back to the ship. Here's a little closer view of the tender boats. If you look at them, they look pretty small, but they hold about 50 or 60 people. Unless you look at the back of the boat, it says that maximum capacity is about 150. But that's only in a case of emergency. I reckon comfort isn't an option then. But it goes along with the elevators kind of on this ship too. They typically said the maximum capacity was 17. But we could only get about 10 people in those elevators before it was packed. But anyway, this gives you an idea of what it's like getting on and off the boat. You can see here they have a side piece that lowers down, and that's their loading platform to get on and off the tender boats. But if the waves are too big, well, then the boats are rocking up and down and it's easy to fall off. And we've seen it several times with that. They just cancel a port because it's too dangerous to get on and off the ship. And if you see the one that's kind of floating out around the edge, that's waiting to pick up people in case they're looking to go ashore. Or could be people on there waiting to get off the tender boats back onto the ship. But in any case, this is a final tour of Punta Arenas, and it was a nice city. And we just saw the downtown side of it, didn't get out and see any of the wildlife in the area because a lot of that was canceled. But it was overall a pretty nice city. And now that we're back on the ship, it's time for our employee of the day, Carl. Carl is always there trying to help us find our pictures. Yeah, he could take one look at you and spot your picture on the wall within minutes. They don't have facial recognition, they have Carl recognition. After all the running around we did today, we never stopped to eat, so we're hungry. So in tonight's video, yeah, I got a picture of our appetizer and dessert, but whenever the entree landed on the table, I ate it. I didn't bother taking a picture of it. So y'all didn't get to see what I ate for the entree tonight. But don't let that stop you from picking what you would like to have off this menu. Go ahead and pick it off and tell your husband, wife, kids what you selected to have for an appetizer, a main entree, and a dessert. For a starter tonight, I had Caesar salad, and Cheryl had her favorite, the French onion soup. She always loves getting that. And then for dessert, I had the chocolate sundae with nuts, and Cheryl had the banana crisp. And after all the running around today, we were wore out. So after dinner, we just curled up in bed and watched a good movie. Because you're on vacation, you do whatever you want. Thanks for watching, and tune in to day 8, where that we finally stop at Ushuaia and get to see the penguins in real life. So long.